ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to No Man's Land with me, CWATTYESO here in Farming Simulator 19. I have cleared out the first 2 rows of trees. I have chopped those down, got rid of those. I have even replanted a new row. So I've got 20 trees planted to replace those. What I'm not going to do, however, is put in another row of trees until these ones are ready to chop down. All these trees here are far too close together in terms of spacing side to side. Obviously, you can't do anything about the spacing in this sort of direction because that's controlled by the planter, which I've wrongly assumed I could control the spacing at which it put down the trees, but apparently I can't. Unless it's a change that's happened in the game recently. I thought in the past I could control at what space, at what distance the tree planter put a tree in the ground, but apparently I can't, or at least I can't with this one over here now. I don't have an option anywhere to be able to control at what distance it puts the tree in the ground. I have added as well to my little wood logging area a wood chip section for selling wood chips, which is very useful for when getting rid of the tree stumps. Did have a slight issue with a couple of tree stumps that wouldn't actually remove, and I couldn't actually get them with stump grinder. You know, I couldn't get them with this. Couldn't get them with the chainsaw. So in the end, I ended up having to buy a tree maverick to help me remove the stubborn tree stumps. But by removing them with the tree maverick, I got wood chips, which meant I had to sell the wood chips. And unfortunately, I can't put wood chips into my sell point, log sell point, or my wood chipper. So unfortunately, I had to buy the wood sell point, but that's not a problem. Terribly problem. Another little issue I've noticed as well. Where's my hay gone? I had a hay bale here. It's disappeared. I'm noticing something a bit weird with the animals. I'm not going to lie. Particularly little horses. The straw for the horses never seems to go down. And I wondered if it was because of for some reason it's picking up the straw directly from the bales, which is why I've put the get object info mod on, and I've gone round and looked at all the bales. They're all 8,000 litres, so it's not consuming the straw directly from the bales. My mixing wagon over here is completely empty. There's no straw in that. But for some reason on the horse pen, the straw, it says straw pellets there as well, which is why I think it's messed up. I think it kind of messed up with the Alpine DLC thing. I think what I'm going to have to do is sell off all my horses and sell the pen, remove the pen, and then buy a new one. That might be the only way to fix it. But today's task, everybody, is going to be to do some windrowing. Because make it 9. I did mow the grass yesterday off camera. After I finished my trees, I mowed the grass. I even got the field ploughed over yonder. That's done. Whoa. Stop. Got to activate GPS. There we go. Yeah, this field definitely is very lumpy bumpy. As you can see, I had some issues mowing the grass in some of the areas where the terrain isn't quite as flat as it needs to be. I really do need to get the smooth tool out. The problem is, if I get the smooth tool out now, I'm going to have to replow the whole flipping field. And some people might be like, is it really worth doing? But yeah, where did my hay bale go? My hay bale from my straw bales. That's a bit weird. How that's disappeared overnight. Because he shouldn't rot or anything. Because I'm not playing with seasons. That's a bit confusing for me. Right, now, can I get a decent row down here? Yes, I can. Be a bit tight. But yeah, basically what happened is I definitely planted all the trees way too close together in that group over there, in that area. And as a result, when you're chopping the trees down with a Scorpion King, they get tangled in each other and amongst each other. And it just ends up being a disaster. It just ends up being an absolute disaster. It's so frustrating trying to get the logs, and then when you're trying to pick them up, they're all janking and jerking about all over the place. So when I thin those trees out and chop them down, when I come to replace them, I'll be putting them back in I'll be putting more rows. I'll be putting a wider gap between the rows of trees, basically. Makes sense. There's an area there as well, by the way, just behind me on the right hand side there, where again the tractor kind of jumped in the air a bit as I was trying to mow. I wonder if that's got something to do with the horse pen leveling the train or something. I don't quite rightly know. As I say, I've got that field ploughed. I did that off camera. I did that actually early hours of this morning. For those of you who are looking at the video and can see that it is 19:06 in the evening here for me on today, Wednesday the 25th of November, as I record this, I actually played a bit. I actually did most of the ploughing work at about 4 AM this morning because I couldn't sleep. So I ended up loading up Farm Sim, having a bit of a play. If it wasn't for the fact I have people in the house with me, I probably would have recorded the video at that point. But obviously if I start talking and filming videos at 4 AM, the other people in the house are not going to appreciate that. Honestly, I feel over the last few days, my most productive time has been between the hours of midnight and 6 AM. That's when I've been kind of at my most awake and alert. For some reason, I am in a terrible pattern at the minute where I'm literally sleeping all day long. And then I'm like Mr. Night Owl. I'm awake all night and then I'm twiddling my thumbs because I don't know what to do with myself all night. So last night I played Farm Sim. I wonder what I'll play tonight if I can't sleep. Which I don't expect to. I don't expect to. Because I literally woke up at about 6 PM this evening. It's literally when I got up today, 6 PM. I've been asleep all day. From about 8 AM this morning till 6 PM this evening. In real life. It's crazy. And it's been something that's been happening to me the last couple of weeks now. Been really getting into a bad routine, I would say. Probably put it down as well to the fact that my overall mental health has not been great the last couple of weeks either. I've noticed a bit of a decline in that side of things, without wanting to obviously bore too many people with discussions of that nature, but it's because it's winter. Winter is here. It's dark, it's cold, it's miserable, and I really don't like this 6-month period of the year. Really doesn't work for me. I definitely think I'm solar powered, which is terrible for someone who obviously lives in England because we don't get a lot of sun. But I definitely think I'm solar powered. When the sun's out and shining, I feel fantastic. I feel great. You know, through the summer. Pretty much most of the year I've felt pretty good, you know, but now winter is here. I'm not feeling great. I'm starting to feel that sort of depression kicking in again that always kicks in around this time of year. And the trouble is, when you've gone from feeling really great, like I have done most of this year, all of a sudden it's like a double kick when you start feeling rubbish. When you start feeling bad, it feels even worse. And I think that's what's messing me up the most at the minute. You know, I'm trying to enjoy things as much as I can, but I'm struggling. I mean, I tried to play a game the other evening, a new game on Twitch, and you know, I ended up rage quitting it because it was just, I just couldn't cope. I could not cope with what it was doing to me. The game, I was getting frustrated that it wasn't telling me what I wanted to know. It wasn't helping me. It wasn't trying to teach me how to play it. There was no like tutorial, you know, for a new game. I'd got Mr. Helgi trying to tell me what to do in the Twitch chat. And he was getting frustrated at me because apparently I wasn't listening. I wasn't reading the info on the screen, but honestly, I wasn't seeing any info. And he was like, "Oh, I would sooner talk to you in Discord." And I was like, Thing is, you know, it was one of them games where I kind of wanted to play it without constantly having people talking in my ears. You know, I don't mind people giving me help and advice in the chat on the screen, or giving me help and advice in my Discord, but the last thing I would have wanted was to have somebody talking in my ears all night long as I was trying to learn the game. And in the end, it was just easier for me to just go, no, this isn't a game for me right now. It's not a game that I'm in a place mentally that I can afford to play and put time into, because it's just going to make me feel even worse. So it was better for me just to close the game, log out, and play something else. And it's why I come back to Farm Sim. It's why I always come back to Farm Sim, because Farm Sim is the game that no matter what's going on with me, in my world, in my life, I can sit on this game and I can just peace out, you know. I can just zone out. I can relax. I can de-stress. You know, and that's great. That's all I want, you know. Plus, we've got the exciting, wonderful things like we've got the precision farming DLC coming out in December. You know, on December the 8th, we've got the next DLC coming out for the game, which is going to add some whole new mechanics for the whole fertilizing, the fertilizing of fields, applying fertilizers and limes, because you're going to have to make sure you apply the right amounts of fertilizer to the right areas of your fields. You're going to be adjusting rates of application, which is something I know a lot of people have been asking for in Farm Simulator. Yeah, that part of the field there is very, very bumpy. I'm not going to lie, that is a very bumpy field. And then what I need to do is go back to the bottom of the field, because those rocks are in the way. And then I need to come back up that row, the row I haven't done. And then I can have my windrow away from the rocks. But yeah, precision farming is going to be a very cool addition to Farming Simulator. You're going to be able to go out into your fields, you're going to have to map all your fields, take soil samples of all your fields to understand where you've got your bad spots of your fields, where you've got your good spots. And then you're going to have to work to try and improve the bad spots of your fields. Which of course is going to affect your yield of your crops. So if you're planting crops on a bad field, bad areas of the map, you're not going to get great yield. So it's a case then of whether or not you're going to be able to do the work needed to bring that field up by, you know, doing the work, the groundwork to try and improve the soil quality and stuff in that area, or whether or not you're maybe better off looking at cutting your losses and thinking, you know what, this land is not great for growing crops. I'll do something else on this land and I'll look to buy a field in an area where it does have better soil, you know. It's going to be an interesting, certainly an interesting thing brought to the game. It's going to be interesting to see how it works with mod maps as well. That is something I'm wondering. How precision farming, is it something that modders are going to have to build into the maps, or is it just going to be something that's automatically enabled on every map, where basically when you load up the game, it will randomly, the game will scan your fields, scan the fields that the modder has put into the map, and randomly assign soil qualities to the fields. I don't know. So much of it is still relatively unknown, the whole precision farming thing, but we know we get some new equipment to do the like the soil sampling and stuff. There's a new machine. There's a little Gator, John Deere Gator type SUV vehicle. And then there's the actual soil sampler, and obviously once you've collected your soil samples, you have to take them to a place that analyzes them and then gives you the results. Obviously, the more samples you take, the more accurate your results will be. All very exciting stuff. I'll just make sure I pick up some of this stuff first. my... Make sure we try and get it all. Right, we will be able to travel down this row here. Hopefully the baler is going to stop automatically and let me... Okay, that time. Okay. Interesting. It's interesting that when I was doing it with the straw the other day, the baler was automatically stopping when it got full. Now I'm doing the hay, it's again doing that thing where it doesn't quite stop. I must admit, when I was doing the straw bales the other day, that was very useful. It's a bit weird, that. It keeps scooping up a bale that I've already can't reverse back fast enough to try and throw it out either. See if it'll kick it out further away. Keeps... I wonder if I could manually eject a bale. Would that help? Oh, I wonder if it's some kind of I wonder if there's a bit of a conflict with the mod that does the empty bales, empty baler stuff, and with the straw harvest add-on balers. Because although in the help window it does come up with empty baler or something to that note description, all that does is empties the baler. It resets the what's in the baler to 0, the fill of the baler to 0. So it's not the same as unload partial bales. It's not like I can unload or remove a partial bale. It's more of a case of I can, you know, if I've got hay in the baler and I want to go pick up straw, I can empty the empty the hay out of the baler and start from scratch when I go to pick up the straw. Which is, I must admit, it's a little bit confusing because when I read the description of the mod, that's not kind of what I envisioned. You know, again, when I saw the mod on the mod hub, I was expecting it to be a, you can eject, you know, if you've got, you know, 200 litres of hay in your machine, you can eject a bale with 200 litres in it. That was particularly of interest to me, especially with that new cotton mod pack. Because that cotton, the new cotton mod pack has a cotton baler in it that makes big bales of cotton. And I'm sometimes wondering whether or not you're actually going to be able to, you know, I did it on multiplayer the other evening. We did a cotton contract, and I was a little bit concerned as to whether or not I'd actually be able to get the bale out of the machine. Because if you can't get it to 100%, you can't unload it. And I was like, okay. There's not enough cotton on this field for me to harvest and make a full capacity bale. How do I complete the contract? But again, this mod that I've got doesn't help with that, because it doesn't put, unfortunately, all it would do if I hit the button is it would delete all the cotton from inside the cotton baler. It wouldn't eject a bale with whatever is in there, you know. It's a little bit unfortunate. Good thing is there's enough bales here. We're going to be able to feed the horses for quite a while, and the sheep. That one out the back. Yeah, I got very close to the field boundary here, the tile boundary when I did this field. So actually, when it comes to actually doing the grass on this field, I may have to look at dialing this field back a bit. Because unfortunately for me, can't work all the way to it. I get that you do not own this. You do not own this land message. Which is very annoying and frustrating. 59%. 2 rows to do after this one. Yeah. %. Oh, Mr. Spot, look. Terrible. One more row after this. And then I'll have enough hay for the horses and the sheep for a little while. I've got slightly more horses, by the way, than I bought the other day from the store. After selling my previous horses, because I wanted to see, because I've been looking at that straw fill level on the horses for a few episodes now, the last few episodes. I've kind of been noticing it. But I wanted to make definitely sure that my suspicion was right, that that straw level is not going down. Before I made too many things. So at the moment I've got more horses than the 8 that I've had previously. So I may end up loading all the horses up into the trailer, taking them down to the sell point, the animal dealer, getting rid of them, getting rid of the horse pen, and then maybe loading up another horse pen. I'm not full yet. Trying to empty too soon. There we go. Back her up, kick her out. Back it up and kick it out. Now look, 21% grass that I can't do anything with, but if I do left control delete, it removes it. That's supposed to reset the bale counter, but it didn't do. Control X. Ah. Oh, it has actually reset it. Let me just check my key bindings because everything's getting a bit confusing now. Let's have a look what we got. Lot of auto load, empty baler left, delete object. Whoops, did that wrong. Let me set that again. Try setting that again. Let me find it. Button D-pad left. That's the one I've just done. Left button, right button, D-pad down. Do that one. That's toggle worker. Reset bail counter, that is fine for me. Save controls. Keyboard controls, let's have a look. Toggle reset bail counter. Should reset bow. New controls. Let's go back. Can't see that doing anything. Never mind, we won't worry about that too much. Anyway, I can get these bales picked up now. That will be the end of today's episode, folks. Hope you've enjoyed it. When you come back for the next one, we'll be planting a crop over on our ploughed field over there. A bit of luck. And we might look then at making another field somewhere on the map. But for now, me, here on the farm, it is goodbye.